Intermediate 2 Maths, Unit 2, Specimen NAB from the TeeJay Book 1 on page 222. This is outcome 4, using simple statistics. Question 7, find the standard deviation of this random sample of digits showing all the necessary working. So we have 7, 9, 6, 8, 11, 5 numbers. So the first thing we have to do is find the average, which we call x bar. So 7 at 9 at 6 at 8 at 11, all divided by 5. Well, the top comes to 41. 41 divided by 5 is 8.2. Right, after we've done that, we are going to try and use this formula here. S equals the square root of, well, hopefully we know what square root means, but we've got a square root button on the calculator. Then we have a funny E sign, which is a sigma sign, that means the sum of, then x minus x bar, all squared. Well, x minus x bar, that is the data value, or the number that we start with, so for example 7, minus x bar the mean. So we'll do 7 minus the mean, then we'll do 9 minus the mean, and we need to square all of those. So we'll do that using a table. So the first column is the x column, that is just the numbers that we started with, 7, 9, 6, 8, 11. Remember, we know x bar, that's 8.2, so the second column, x minus x bar. So we have 7 minus 8.2, 9 minus 8.2, and so on to get those 5 values. The third column, x minus x bar, all squared. Right, if you're using your calculator, which you will be no doubt, put the negative 1.2 all in a bracket. So bracket negative 1.2 bracket squared. Or just remember, if you're squaring a negative, you always get a positive. If you type in just negative 1.2 squared, your calculator thinks that once it has been asked to do 1.2 squared, then stick a minus sign in front. That is not what you're trying to work out. So either remember it's going to be a positive answer in this case, or put the whole number in a bracket before squaring it. So square those 5 numbers, add them together, you get 14.80. That is the sum of, in other words, add together, the bracket x minus x bar all squared column. So that is the top line of the formula. Again, the sigma sign means sum of, in other words, add together all 5 of those values. The bottom of the formula, fortunately a little bit nicer, n minus 1. N is how many numbers we started with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Subtract 1, which is 4. So we have 14.8 over 4, all square rooted. Do 14.8 divided by 4 first. Then square root of 3.7. Again, if you type square root of 14.8 divided by 4 into your calculator does not know that you want it to do the square root of 4 on the bottom as well. It doesn't know that. So do top divided by bottom to get 3.7, then square root it 1.92 to 2 decimal places. 4 marks. Practice those, do them on the specimen, on the practice NABs, easy marks. Right, question 8, the question that people sometimes struggle with if they don't do enough revision. Number 8, so I have put on the values that are given. Part A, copy or trace the scatter graph and draw your estimate of the line of best fit. Well, looking here, the values on the graph follow the direction of the line, and the line goes right through the middle of those values. So it can touch them, it doesn't need to touch any of the values. In this case it's touched 2 at the top end. So notice, and as well, it does not go through 0, 0. There's absolutely no need for it to go through 0, 0. So there we go, that's part A done, that's a mark for that. Part B, the bit that is often not answered very well. State the equation of this line of best fit. Equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c. Value of c is 200,000. Why is that? Well, it crosses at 2, but looking at the scale is in hundred thousands, so it's 200,000. Next bit, y equals mx plus c, we need to work out m, we need to work out the gradient. Well, m is the vertical change over the horizontal change, or in other words, up over along. So I know this bit is at 2, or 200,000, because again the scale's in hundred thousands. Going up here on the line, there's another spot there that I've put on. That is 400 along and 5 or 500,000 up. So the vertical change, I started at 2, I went up to 5. Or I started at 200,000, went up to 500,000. That is a vertical change of 300,000. I started at 0 along, I went to 400 along. I've gone along 400, so 300,000 divided by 400. Just let the calculator do that, that is 750. So again guys, remember that's the gradient I've just calculated. So I have c, I have m, I know it's of the form y equals mx plus c. So it's y equals 750x plus 200,000. Just substituting in m and c. Remember that joins together any point on that straight line. So the y coordinate is always 750 times the x coordinate plus 200,000. So we can use that fact to answer part C. Use your equation to estimate the charge for an advert of a magazine with sales of 400,000. Right, the sales bit is the y-axis, so it's telling you the value of y is 400,000. So 400,000 equals 750x plus 200,000. So we need to rearrange this to work out what x is. Take 200,000 from each side, you get 200,000 equals 750x. Again, we're trying to work out what x is, so we need to divide through by 750. So we'll get 200,000 over 750. So x will be 266.66, or just rounding up to two significant figures, x equals £270. Could have had £267, could have had £266.67p. Any one of them would have done. I should probably have written 2SF, two significant figures, after that. You may also be asked a slightly easier question for part C. For example, use your equation to estimate the number of sales for a £350 advert. In this case, we're given the x value. The x value is £350. So with the equation, substitute 350 into x. So y would be 750 times 350 plus 200,000. That would just be 462,500 for the amount of sales. A lot easier, probably more likely to be like that in the proper NAB. Right, number 9, a nice easy one to finish compared to number 8, which is a bit nasty. The National Lotto has balls numbered 1 to 49. What is the probability that a ball selected at random has a number less than 20? Less than 20 means less than 20, not including 20. Just anything less than 20. So there's 19 numbers, 1 to 19, out of a total of 49, and that's your answer. So in the bracket, P bracket less than 20 bracket equals 19 over 49. And that's outcome 4 done.